In a move that stunned the monarchy and sent shockwaves through royal circles, Prince William issued a decree no one saw coming, officially stripping Camilla's family of their royal titles. Courtiers froze, insiders whispered, and the world watched in disbelief as tradition collided with authority. What compelled the future king to take such a drastic step? And what secrets lay behind this unprecedented royal reckoning? Before we go deeper into what this really means for the royal family, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single update. The announcement arrived without warning, delivered with a gravity that rippled through Buckingham Palace like a sudden storm. Senior aides were summoned in hushed urgency, their expressions guarded as the decree spread through the corridors of power. No precedent prepared them for such a decisive act. For generations, royal titles had symbolized continuity and honor, yet in a single stroke, William challenged tradition with a bold authority that signaled a new era. The magnitude of his decision was unmistakable. This was not merely administrative reform, but a declaration of intent that redefined the balance of influence within the monarchy. As heir to the throne, William's authority carried profound symbolic weight. His actions spoke of conviction and control, revealing a leader determined to shape the institution in his own image. Observers noted the precision of his words and the unwavering certainty behind them, interpreting the decree as both a reform and a reckoning. It was a moment of transformation, one that elevated him from future sovereign to decisive architect of the crown's destiny. In asserting his authority, William demonstrated that tradition, though revered, would no longer stand immune to scrutiny or change. For Camilla, the reaction was immediate and deeply personal. Though composed in public, her stunned silence reverberated throughout the royal household. The decree struck at the heart of loyalty and legacy, challenging relationships forged through years of perseverance and acceptance. Those closest to her sensed the emotional gravity of the moment, a mixture of disbelief, hurt, and quiet resolve. In the delicate world of royal diplomacy, such a move carried not only political consequences, but profound personal implications, reshaping alliances and altering perceptions with irreversible force. Within palace walls, shock gave way to restless speculation. Courtiers exchanged guarded whispers, their unease reflecting the unprecedented nature of the decision. Insiders, long accustomed to the monarchy's careful restraint, struggled to comprehend the boldness of William's action. Some viewed it as necessary reform, others feared it signaled deeper divisions within the House of Windsor. The atmosphere grew tense, charged with uncertainty and anticipation, as every gesture and silence was scrutinized for meaning. Beyond the palace gates, the world reacted with astonishment. Headlines blazed across continents, igniting a media frenzy that transformed the decree into a global spectacle. Commentators debated its significance, while the public weighed admiration against disbelief. Social media erupted with speculation, amplifying the controversy and elevating the moment into one of the most dramatic royal developments in modern history. The historic rarity of stripping royal titles lent the decision an almost mythic gravity, ensuring its place among the most consequential acts ever undertaken by a future monarch. Yet beneath the shock and spectacle lay a deeper narrative, one shaped by tension, memory, and long-buried rivalries. The decree hinted at conflicts that had simmered in silence, unresolved and unseen by the public eye. It was not merely an act of authority, but the culmination of years of whispered disputes and fragile alliances, now brought into the unforgiving light of history. But this dramatic decree was not born in a single moment. It was the culmination of years of quiet tensions, whispered disputes, and unresolved rivalries within the royal household. Long before the titles were stripped away, Camilla's family had risen quietly through the ranks of royal influence. Behind palace doors, their presence grew stronger, their connections deeper, and their ambitions more visible. Admirers called it loyalty, critics called it intrusion. As their prominence expanded, so did the whispers that would one day ignite a royal confrontation destined to reshape the monarchy forever. Their ascent was neither sudden nor accidental. It unfolded gradually, almost imperceptibly, woven into the intricate fabric of royal life. With each passing year, Camilla's family established deeper ties within the palace. Their presence normalized through quiet association and subtle proximity to power. Invitations became more frequent, appearances more visible, and influence more discernible. To some, Their integration symbolized unity and acceptance, a testament to loyalty earned through endurance. Yet to others, it raised unsettling questions about boundaries, tradition, and the shifting dynamics of royal authority. As their prominence grew, so too did their influence within palace affairs. Trusted voices gained access to private discussions, and their perspectives, once peripheral, began to echo in corridors long governed by centuries-old hierarchy. Courtiers observed the changes with measured discretion, noting the subtle recalibration of power that accompanied their rising visibility. Within this delicate ecosystem of tradition and protocol, even the slightest shift carried profound implications, quietly redefining the balance between heritage and modernity. Outside the palace walls, public perception evolved with equal intensity. The media, ever vigilant, scrutinized their expanding role with fascination and suspicion. Headlines alternated between admiration and critique, portraying Camilla's family as either steadfast allies or unwelcome interlopers. Each appearance fueled debate, each acknowledgement deepened intrigue, and speculation flourished in the absence of clarity. In an era shaped by transparency, their growing prominence became a focal point of curiosity, amplifying the tension between public expectation and royal discretion. Allegations of favoritism began to surface, whispered in political circles and echoed by commentators eager to decipher the monarchy's evolving narrative. Though never openly confirmed, these murmurs cast long shadows across palace corridors, hinting at shifting loyalties and emerging divides. The perception of preferential treatment, whether real or imagined, challenged the delicate equilibrium of the institution, stirring unease among those who feared the erosion of long-standing tradition. In a monarchy built upon continuity, even the suggestion of imbalance carried the potential to ignite controversy. For senior royals and seasoned advisors, the changes did not go unnoticed. Beneath their composed exteriors lingered a quiet apprehension, a recognition that the monarchy's identity was being subtly reshaped. Resentment, though rarely voiced, took root in hushed conversations and guarded exchanges, reflecting an undercurrent of tension that threatened to surface. The clash between legacy and loyalty grew increasingly pronounced, foreshadowing a conflict that would test the institution's resilience and redefine its future. In this atmosphere of quiet intrigue, the seeds of confrontation were sown. Camilla's family stood as symbols of both devotion and disruption, their ascent embodying the monarchy's struggle to reconcile tradition with evolving realities. What began as acceptance gradually transformed into unease, and unease into rivalry, as competing visions of royal integrity took shape behind closed doors. The stage was set for a reckoning that would reverberate through generations, fueled by memory, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of influence. As influence expanded and tension simmered beneath the surface, an unspoken rivalry began to take shape, one that would place William and Camilla on a collision course. For Prince William, duty was never a choice, it was destiny. Yet behind his composed exterior lay a silent resolve shaped by memory, loyalty, and an unwavering commitment to the crown. As pressures mounted and whispers grew louder, he faced a decision that would test not only his authority but his heart. What drove the future king to challenge tradition and confront the queen consort's legacy? From the earliest days of his life, William was molded by expectation. Raised beneath the relentless glare of public scrutiny, he learned that the crown demanded sacrifice long before it offered reward. Every gesture, every word, every silence carried significance. His path to kingship was not merely a birthright but a lifelong preparation, an unyielding education in discipline, restraint, and responsibility. While others saw privilege, William understood obligation. He grew into a figure defined by purpose, guided by the belief that the monarchy must endure, not through complacency, but through integrity and reform. At the heart of his resolve lay the enduring influence of Princess Diana. Her memory was not simply a chapter of history, but a living force that shaped his convictions and sharpened his sense of justice. Diana's compassion, her struggle against royal constraint, and her unwavering devotion to her sons instilled in William a profound awareness of the human cost behind the crown. Her legacy became both inspiration and burden, a quiet reminder that loyalty to tradition must never eclipse loyalty to truth. In moments of reflection, her presence lingered, guiding his decisions with an emotional clarity that could not be ignored. As whispers of influence and impropriety echoed through palace corridors, William's determination to safeguard the integrity of the monarchy intensified. He recognized that the institution's survival depended on trust forged not by ceremony alone, but by transparency and principled leadership. To him, the crown was not an artifact of history, but a living symbol of unity, one that required vigilance and courage to preserve. The rising prominence of Camilla's family stirred unease, compelling him to confront questions few dared to voice and to weigh loyalty against responsibility. Behind closed doors, private tensions simmered, rarely spoken yet deeply felt. Conversations were measured, silences deliberate, and disagreements cloaked in the careful diplomacy of royal life. Within this fragile equilibrium, William navigated a complex web of allegiance and expectation, aware that every decision carried consequences that would echo across generations. The weight of public expectation pressed heavily upon him, as the world looked to the future king not only for stability, but for moral clarity in an era defined by scrutiny and change. As scrutiny intensified, so too did his resolve to act decisively against what he perceived as impropriety. The decision to challenge tradition was not born of defiance, but of conviction, a belief that the monarchy must evolve to remain relevant and respected. Yet the path forward demanded courage, for it meant confronting deeply rooted loyalties and risking personal relationships in the pursuit of institutional integrity. Within him raged a quiet conflict between respect for the past and the necessity of reform, between deference and duty. This internal struggle defined his transformation from heir to architect of the crown's future. William stood at the crossroads of history, torn between reverence and responsibility, yet guided by an unwavering commitment to protect the legacy he was destined to inherit. As William's determination hardened, the fragile balance within the monarchy began to fracture, setting the stage for a confrontation that would stun the world. When the decree was delivered, the reaction was immediate and unforgettable. Camilla, queen consort, stood stunned as the future king stripped her family of their royal titles. In a palace steeped in tradition, such a moment was unprecedented. Behind her composed exterior lay disbelief, heartbreak, and the realization that the monarchy she had fought to uphold had turned against her in a way no one had anticipated. For Camilla, the moment carried a weight far greater than ceremony. Years of endurance, scrutiny, and quiet perseverance seemed to converge into a single, devastating instant. Though her public composure remained intact, those closest to her sensed the emotional tremor beneath the surface, an unspoken mixture of shock, sorrow, and wounded dignity. The decree was not merely administrative, it was deeply personal, striking at the legacy she had worked tirelessly to secure. In the silent corridors of power, her reaction resonated like an echo of disbelief, marking a turning point no royal observer could ignore. The strain on her relationships with senior members of the royal family became palpable. Conversations grew measured, gestures restrained, and the atmosphere within palace walls shifted with quiet intensity. Where unity had once been carefully preserved, tension now lingered in subtle glances and unspoken words. The delicate equilibrium of royal diplomacy began to falter, revealing fractures beneath the surface of tradition. Each interaction carried the weight of uncertainty, as loyalty and authority collided in ways that would redefine the monarchy's internal dynamics. Beyond personal grief, the political implications of the decree rippled outward with profound consequence. The revocation of titles signified more than a symbolic gesture, it represented a recalibration of influence within the House of Windsor. Observers interpreted the decision as a bold assertion of future authority, while others viewed it as a challenge to long-standing alliances. Within this shifting landscape, every gesture and silence became charged with meaning, transforming a private royal matter into a defining institutional moment. Loyalists rallied swiftly to Camilla's defense, their support both steadfast and vocal. Trusted confidants and sympathetic figures within royal circles sought to reaffirm her standing, emphasizing her dedication to duty and her enduring commitment to the crown. Their quiet advocacy underscored the emotional gravity of the situation, reinforcing the sense that this was not merely a matter of protocol, but a profound test of loyalty and resilience. Yet even as voices of support emerged, the palace remained cloaked in restraint, its silence amplifying the drama unfolding behind closed doors. Within the royal household, tensions reached a boiling point. Courtiers moved with cautious precision, advisors weighed every word, and the fragile harmony of tradition seemed increasingly precarious. The symbolic significance of the revoked titles reverberated throughout the institution, challenging established hierarchies and redefining perceptions of power. In a monarchy where honor and lineage carry immeasurable weight, such an act resonated as both a rupture and a reckoning. For Camilla, the emotional cost was immeasurable. Loyalty, once her shield, now bore the scars of sacrifice. Power, once a symbol of acceptance, had become a source of vulnerability. The decree forced a confrontation with the delicate balance between legacy and authority, exposing the human heart behind the crown. In that moment, the monarchy revealed its most intimate truth, that beneath its grandeur lie individuals shaped by devotion, ambition, and the enduring cost of destiny. As shock rippled through the palace, the repercussions extended far beyond personal grievance, threatening to reshape alliances at the highest levels of the crown. Behind the gilded doors of Buckingham Palace, a silent battle for influence was unfolding. Loyalties were tested, alliances forged in secrecy, and whispers of betrayal echoed through the corridors of power. William's decision to strip Camilla's family of their titles ignited a struggle that would redefine royal authority. But who stood with him, and who dared to oppose the future king in this unprecedented confrontation? In the immediate aftermath of the decree, senior advisors and seasoned courtiers moved swiftly, their measured expressions concealing a storm of uncertainty. Consultations unfolded in hushed tones, strategies were weighed with meticulous care, and every word carried the gravity of history in the making. The monarchy, long sustained by discretion and unity, now found itself navigating unfamiliar territory. For those entrusted with safeguarding the crown's continuity, the stakes were immense, balancing loyalty to tradition with the inevitability of reform demanded by the future king. Within the royal household, loyalties fractured with quiet intensity. Some rallied firmly behind William, viewing his decision as a necessary assertion of authority and a decisive step toward modernizing the institution. Others remained steadfast in their support of Camilla, interpreting the decree as an affront to loyalty and legacy. These divisions, though rarely spoken aloud, manifested in subtle gestures and guarded conversations, revealing an undercurrent of tension that threatened to unsettle the fragile harmony of the House of Windsor. The palace, once a symbol of unity, now bore the unmistakable weight of internal discord. As uncertainty deepened, strategic alliances began to emerge behind palace walls. Trusted confidants aligned themselves with competing visions for the monarchy's future, each faction guided by its own interpretation of duty and preservation. Advisors navigated this shifting landscape with careful precision, aware that every decision would shape the narrative of a defining royal moment. Within this intricate web of influence, allegiance became both shield and weapon, transforming private deliberations into a silent contest for power and prestige. The political implications of William's decree extended far beyond the palace gates, resonating throughout the nation and the Commonwealth. Observers interpreted the decision as a bold declaration of future sovereignty, signaling a monarch prepared to challenge convention in pursuit of institutional integrity. Yet others feared it foreshadowed deeper fractures within the crown, raising questions about unity, precedent, and the delicate balance between continuity and change. The monarchy stood at a crossroads, its future shaped by forces both visible and unseen. Conflicts between tradition and reform intensified, exposing the tension between reverence for heritage and the necessity of evolution. William's vision for a streamlined modern monarchy clashed with entrenched loyalties and established customs, igniting debate over authority and precedent. Within this charged atmosphere, personal allegiance intertwined with institutional responsibility, forcing those closest to the crown to confront choices that would define their legacy. The struggle was not merely political, it was deeply human, marked by devotion, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of influence. Beyond the palace, public perception emerged as a powerful force shaping royal decision-making. Media scrutiny amplified every development, while global audiences watched with fascination and judgment. Supporters praised William's resolve, hailing him as a reformer prepared to safeguard the monarchy's future, while critics questioned the cost of such unprecedented action. In this era of transparency and relentless attention, the court could no longer rely solely on tradition. It had to navigate the complex interplay between authority and public trust. As tensions escalated and alliances solidified, the stability of the institution itself appeared increasingly precarious. The silent battle for influence, once confined to whispered deliberations, now threatened to redefine the monarchy's identity and destiny. In the shadow of power and tradition, the House of Windsor stood on the brink of transformation, its unity tested as never before. As the power struggle intensified, the world beyond palace walls watched with fascination and judgment. From London to the farthest corners of the Commonwealth, the news ignited a media storm unlike any in recent memory. Headlines blazed, debates erupted, and the world watched in disbelief as the monarchy faced one of its most controversial decisions. Was William's bold action a necessary reform, or a royal betrayal that would fracture the institution and redefine its legacy forever? The announcement dominated global headlines within hours, transforming a private royal decree into an international spectacle. News outlets dissected every detail with relentless intensity, their coverage oscillating between reverence and sensationalism. Analysts, historians, and commentators filled the airwaves, offering competing interpretations of William's unprecedented decision. Some hailed it as a courageous step toward modernization, while others denounced it as an audacious breach of royal tradition. The narrative evolved by the minute, each broadcast amplifying the intrigue and ensuring that the monarchy remained at the center of global attention. Public reaction proved equally divided, revealing the deep emotional resonance of the decision. Supporters praised William's resolve, viewing his actions as a necessary assertion of authority and a bold effort to safeguard the integrity of the crown. To them, the future king embodied reform and accountability, a leader willing to challenge convention in pursuit of progress. Yet critics responded with outrage, condemning the move as a betrayal of loyalty and a destabilizing affront to royal unity. Across cities and communities, conversations unfolded with fervor, reflecting a monarchy that, for all its grandeur, remained profoundly intertwined with public sentiment. In the digital age, social media transformed the controversy into a global phenomenon. Platforms pulsed with debate as hashtags trended and opinions spread with astonishing speed. Supporters and detractors alike shared commentary, analysis, and speculation, their voices merging into a vast and relentless chorus. Every gesture, every statement, every silence from the palace was scrutinized and interpreted, fueling an atmosphere of suspense that blurred the boundaries between tradition and transparency. The crown, once shielded by discretion, now faced an audience that demanded clarity in real time. Beyond Britain's shores, the reaction reverberated across the Commonwealth, where nations bound by shared history weighed the implications with keen interest. Leaders issued measured statements, expressing respect for the institution while acknowledging the significance of William's decision. Citizens across continents engaged in thoughtful reflection, debating the relevance of royal authority in an era defined by change. The decree had transcended national borders, prompting a global reassessment of the monarchy's role, influence, and enduring symbolism. Amid the storm of opinion, the monarchy faced the formidable challenge of maintaining unity and credibility. Palace officials navigated the crisis with careful precision, crafting statements that balanced dignity with restraint. Yet the controversy sparked renewed discussions about the relevance of royal titles themselves, questioning their place within a modern constitutional framework. For some, William's decision represented a necessary evolution. For others, it threatened to unravel centuries of tradition. The debate underscored a monarchy standing at a crossroads, its future shaped by the delicate interplay between legacy and reform. At the center of this unfolding drama stood William himself, his image reshaped by the magnitude of his actions. To supporters, he emerged as a decisive and principled future king. To critics, a figure of controversy whose boldness risked deepening division. Either way, his decision had irrevocably altered public perception, elevating him from heir apparent to architect of a new royal era. Yet beyond the headlines and public debate, the consequences of William's decree reached deeper into the very foundations of royal tradition and authority. For centuries, royal titles have symbolized honor, lineage, and legacy. But William's unprecedented decision challenged tradition in a way that stunned historians and royal observers alike. Was this the beginning of a modernized monarchy or the spark of an internal crisis that threatened its future? As the crown stood at a crossroads, The world waited to see whether reform would strengthen or divide the institution. Throughout British history, royal titles have served as more than ceremonial distinctions. They have embodied authority, continuity, and the sacred bond between monarchy and nation. Each honor carried the weight of lineage, reflecting generations of heritage woven into the fabric of the crown. From dukedoms bestowed in recognition of loyalty to peerages that shaped the social hierarchy of the realm, titles stood as enduring symbols of legitimacy and prestige. To alter them was to challenge not only individuals, but the very structure of tradition itself, a rare and consequential act that echoed across centuries of royal precedent. William's decision, therefore, was not merely administrative, it was transformative. As heir to the throne, he envisioned a monarchy adapted to the demands of the modern age, streamlined, accountable, and grounded in public trust. His bold decree signaled a shift toward reform, one that prioritized integrity over convention and clarity over complacency. To supporters, his vision represented renewal, a decisive step toward ensuring the crown's relevance in an evolving world. To critics, however, it raised unsettling questions about the erosion of tradition and the risks inherent in redefining centuries-old customs. Comparisons quickly emerged to past royal reforms and controversies that reshaped the monarchy's course. Observers recalled moments when sovereigns defied expectation to preserve the institution's survival acts once deemed radical, yet later recognized as necessary for progress. These historical echoes cast William's decision in a broader context, suggesting that the monarchy's strength had always depended upon its capacity to evolve. Yet with each comparison came renewed debate, as historians and commentators questioned whether this bold step would be remembered as visionary reform or an unprecedented rupture with tradition. The symbolic implications of stripping titles from Camilla's family resonated deeply within the palace and beyond. Titles, after all, represented more than rank. They embodied recognition, loyalty, and belonging within the royal narrative. Their removal carried a profound emotional and institutional weight, redefining relationships and altering perceptions of power. For some, the act signified accountability and renewal. For others, it reflected a stark and unsettling departure from royal precedent. In this singular moment, symbolism and authority converged, revealing the fragile balance between heritage and reform. Within the monarchy itself, the struggle to reconcile tradition with progress intensified. Private deliberations unfolded in hushed tones, as advisors, historians, and senior royals weighed the implications of William's decision. Debates over authority, precedent, and legacy reflected a deeper uncertainty about the crown's future identity. Could reform coexist with reverence for history, or would it fracture the delicate unity that had sustained the institution for generations? These questions lingered, shaping the narrative of a monarchy poised between continuity and transformation. As the world watched history unfold in real time, the long-term consequences of William's decision remained uncertain yet undeniable. The decree had redefined expectations, challenged convention, and ignited a dialogue that would reverberate through generations. Whether heralded as a visionary reform or remembered as a moment of profound disruption, its legacy would shape the monarchy's destiny for decades to come. As history unfolded in real time, the true impact of William's decision would be measured not only in power, but in legacy. In the aftermath of a decision that stunned the world, the monarchy stood transformed, its traditions challenged, its alliances tested, and its future uncertain. William's bold decree had rewritten royal protocol, leaving Camilla's family stripped of titles and the crown facing a new era. But would this defining moment be remembered as an act of courage, or a fracture that forever altered the legacy of the British monarchy? As the initial shock began to subside, the long-term historical significance of William's decree emerged with unmistakable clarity. Historians, commentators, and royal observers recognized the act as a defining milestone, one that would be etched into the chronicles of the House of Windsor for generations to come. Like the reforms and crises that had reshaped the monarchy in centuries past, this moment marked a turning point in the evolution of royal authority. It was not merely a decision, it was a declaration of intent, signaling a future in which the crown would adapt, reform, and redefine its place in an ever-changing world. Amid the turbulence, Camilla's role evolved with quiet resilience. Though the decree struck at the heart of her family's standing, she endured with dignified composure, embodying the endurance demanded by royal life. Her presence remained steady, her loyalty unwavering, even as the institution she had devoted herself to confronted unprecedented scrutiny. In her silence there was strength, in her restraint, a testament to the emotional fortitude required to navigate the complexities of power and legacy. Over time, her resilience reframed the narrative, transforming personal adversity into a symbol of perseverance within the monarchy's unfolding story. At the same time, William's emergence as a decisive and reform-driven future king became undeniable. His actions redefined public perception, elevating him from heir apparent to architect of a new royal era. To supporters, he embodied courage and accountability, a leader prepared to safeguard the integrity of the crown by challenging convention. His vision of a streamlined modern monarchy resonated with a generation seeking transparency and relevance, reinforcing his image as a sovereign shaped not only by heritage, but by conviction. The monarchy itself began to assume a renewed identity, one reflective of a modern world that demanded authenticity and reform. No longer shielded entirely by tradition, it adapted to a landscape defined by public scrutiny and evolving expectations. Transparency and authority, once viewed as opposing forces, now coexisted as essential pillars of its survival. Public perception shifted accordingly, revealing a crown capable of introspection and renewal, its enduring relevance strengthened rather than diminished by controversy. Yet beneath this transformation lingered an enduring tension between loyalty and reform. For some, William's decree symbolized necessary progress. For others, it represented a painful departure from tradition. Within palace corridors and public discourse alike, the debate persisted, reflecting the monarchy's perpetual struggle to reconcile its historic legacy with the demands of the present. This delicate balance, forged through conflict and reflection, underscored the complexity of leadership in an institution steeped in centuries of precedent. Out of controversy emerged a symbolic rebirth of the crown, an institution tested by adversity, yet strengthened by its capacity to evolve. William's bold decision, though divisive, ignited a transformation that redefined the monarchy's narrative, positioning it for a future shaped by resilience, clarity, and purpose. As the dust of upheaval settled, the echoes of his decree continued to resonate, shaping perceptions and redefining alliances across the royal landscape. Yet even as the dust began to settle, one question lingered: had William's bold action preserved the monarchy, or ignited a legacy of division that history would never forget? History will remember the moment Prince William stunned the world by stripping Camilla's family of their royal titles, a decision that shattered expectations and reshaped the monarchy's future. As the echoes of that decree continue to reverberate through palace corridors and public consciousness, its true meaning remains the subject of intense debate. Was it an act of justice, a bold reform, or a royal reckoning destined to define an era? In the annals of royal history, few decisions have carried such profound and lasting consequence. William's unprecedented decree was not merely an administrative act. It was a seismic shift that redefined the very nature of authority within the House of Windsor. Historians and observers alike now regard the moment as a defining chapter, one destined to be studied for generations. It marked the instant when the future king asserted his vision for the monarchy, an institution rooted in tradition yet compelled to evolve in the face of modern scrutiny. In that single act, the past and the future collided, forging a legacy that would echo across time. The emotional and political fallout within the royal family was immediate and deeply felt. Beneath the polished veneer of royal protocol lay a complex web of loyalty, disappointment, and silent resilience. Relationships were tested, alliances strained, and private tensions simmered behind the palace's guarded walls. What appeared to the world as a decisive reform reverberated within the family as both a reckoning and a reckoning's cost, exposing the delicate balance between duty and devotion. In this charged atmosphere, every silence carried meaning, and every gesture hinted at unspoken truths that would shape the monarchy's future. For Camilla, the moment became an indelible part of her legacy. Her journey from controversy to acceptance, from scrutiny to royal prominence, had already been one of endurance and transformation. The stripping of her family's titles added a new chapter to that narrative, one defined by dignity in adversity and resilience in the face of profound personal loss. Though history may debate the circumstances, her place within the royal story remains unmistakable, a figure shaped by loyalty, perseverance, and the relentless demands of destiny. At the same time, William emerged irrevocably transformed. No longer perceived solely as the heir to the throne, he became a decisive architect of the monarchy's future. His bold action redefined public perception, casting him as a reformer willing to confront tradition in pursuit of institutional integrity. To supporters, he embodied strength and accountability. To critics, he represented a break from precedent. Yet regardless of perspective, his decision elevated him into a new realm of authority, shaping his identity as a sovereign destined to lead with conviction and clarity. In response to crisis and controversy, the monarchy itself evolved, demonstrating an enduring capacity for adaptation. Throughout history, the crown has survived by embracing transformation while preserving its symbolic essence. William's decree, though divisive, reaffirmed this resilience, compelling the institution to reconcile its historic legacy with the expectations of a modern world. It was a moment of reckoning that underscored the monarchy's enduring relevance, proving that even the most ancient traditions must evolve to endure. The symbolism of power, authority, and tradition reverberated far beyond the palace gates. Royal titles, long regarded as emblems of honor and lineage, were revealed as instruments of both prestige and consequence. Their revocation underscored the profound weight of royal authority, reminding the world that within the House of Windsor, legacy is both privilege and responsibility. In this singular act, the crown demonstrated its capacity to redefine itself, reaffirming the delicate balance between reverence for history and the necessity of progress. Ultimately, this chapter stands as a poignant reflection on duty, loyalty, and the cost of destiny. The crown demands unwavering sacrifice from those who bear its weight, and in William's decision, that truth was laid bare. It was a moment shaped by conviction and consequence, by the tension between tradition and reform, and by the enduring human struggles that lie beneath royal grandeur. In the end, the decree became more than a political act. It became a testament to the complexities of power, the resilience of legacy, and the timeless pursuit of purpose within the monarchy. And as the world continues to watch, one truth remains undeniable within the House of Windsor: power is never given freely. And the story of this royal reckoning is far from over. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you in next one.